Alrighty, we are back for part three and the final part of this Final Fantasy trading card game unboxing. So, to finish this off, we're going to unbox this final Opus 1 Collection starter set, which is the Final Fantasy XIII Lightning and Ice starter set. So, got lightning on the front. So, yeah,
Let's do it.
let's do it.
Alright, as you can see, same as the other two sets, you have the 50 cards, and as we had made mention before, that other than a little bit of tape right there that I can't get because I just cut my nails. Get the tape, get the tape. You long-nailed heathen. There you go. It's really easy to open as long as you have nails. And with every set, you'll get the 50 cards, you'll get the map, and you'll get the instruction manual.
Or the playing deck, but yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so as we get ready to detail each card, wanted to take note that the summons used for the summon cards for this starter deck are kind of different from usual earlier Final Fantasy games, as in, Odin, for example, is the horse that Lightning is riding on. And since we're on that card, I'll go ahead and detail it, which it is a summon monster. Choose one forward of cost 4 or less and break it. So that's one of the examples. Not usually what a lot of Final Fantasy fans are used to seeing Odin. Next we have Shiva, which is another example. That's Snow's summon monster in the form of a motorcycle. It's weird. But it's a summon, has EX Burst. Choose one forward, dull it, and freeze it.
Any other summon cards that we have? I think that's it.
This pack didn't have many summon cards, to be honest with you.
No. But one thing I do like about this pack is probably the artwork on most of these. I feel like are probably the best out of the three. Take a look at Lightning. I really love that pose.
Ah, yes, Lightning. One of the strong cards in the Lightning, Lightning and Lightning element. Such a perfect match. And of course, as usual, it's a forward. The cost required to play Lightning onto the field is reduced by 1 for each Category 13 forward you control. And she has haste. When Lightning deals damage to your opponent, choose one forward the opponent controls and dull it. Very powerful card.
Not to be outdone, you also have Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh, which in a lot of the older Final Fantasy games is a summon, but in this particular game, it's actually an enemy that you face. It's a forward. Gilgamesh cannot be returned to its owner's hand by opponent's summons or abilities. Gilgamesh gains plus 1,000 power until the end of the turn, and has the ability Divider, which choose one forward, break it. You can only use this ability if you have received 4 points of damage or more. That means damage to you, the player, not to any other card, but to you, the player.
Noel.
Noel made his debut in Final Fantasy XIII-2. He's a forward. He has haste. If you control a card named Sarah, Noel gets plus 2,000 power.
Makwi.
Makwi. He's a backup. Choose one attacking lightning forward. It gains first strike until the end of the turn. And to refresh our memories, first strike is whenever you have a forward that has the first strike ability, whatever attack and damage it does, that card does the damage first.
We're not sure if we're pronouncing this correctly, but we'll do our best. I believe it's Rajdia. Rajdia.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Interesting character. He's a forward. When Rajdia enters the field, choose one active forward, deal it 3,000 damage. When it is put from the field into the break zone this turn, choose one forward opponent controls and dull it.
Now we're going to a Sage.
You see a Sage. Wait, which one is that one again?
Sage.
Oh, the Sage. Here we go. All right. The Sage. It's a backup. When Sage enters into the field, choose one character card in your break zone and you can add it to your hand.
That's going to end up on the bloopers. Summoner.
Summoner. I believe that's the male summoner. It is. Standard unit, and it's a backup. Nothing special about it. Magus. All right. Magus is another backup. Magus or Magus, one of the two. When Magus enters the field, choose one forward, deal it 5,000 damage. Man, what do you think of that?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But not as cool as the Dragoon.
The Dragoon, which is the Final Fantasy Tactics class. In the War of the Lions version, it's Dragoon. In the regular version, it's Lancer. It's a forward. It has first strike, which if this forward blocks or is blocked by a forward without first strike, this forward deals the damage first.
Now this card is very similar to the Archer in the
Yes.
in the first deck.
Yes.
Now we have Sid Reigns.
Sid Reigns. Here we go. Of the Ice Element. He's a forward. When Sid Reigns enters the field, choose one dull forward opponent controls. Deal it 4,000 damage. When it is put from the field into the break zone this turn, your opponent discards one card from his or her hand. It's a lot to keep up with, but powerful card.
He looks like a character who's very devious.
Jahil Nabat. Interesting name. Looks like a female. She's backup. And has EX Burst. When Jahil Nabat enters the field, choose up to 2 forwards and freeze them. She also has the ability Sadistic Surge. Choose one forward, dull it, and freeze it. A lot of freezing. Well, it is an Ice Element card.
Now we have Snow.
Snow. If you haven't played Final Fantasy XIII, you'll get a kick out of this character. Snow. Snow's a forward. When Snow blocks, choose one forward, dull it. Has the ability Vendetta. Until the end of the turn, Snow gains plus 2,000 power and first strike. You can only use this ability while Snow is blocking. So specific scenario, only when he's blocking an attack.
Now, tell us what it means to dull it.
So, what it means to dull, for example, backup cards. Whenever backup cards are played into the field, they're automatically played as dulled. And usually, at the time, they can't be played into the next turn. Whereas when you play a forward card, some of them may not be able to attack at first, but they come into play as active. And always before you start your next turn, like when it comes to your turn, you want to undull all of your dulled cards. So those are the two different states you have. You have active and you have dull. But always when you play backup cards first, you always play them dulled first.
Okay. We have another forward, Sarah.
Sarah, Snow's honey bunny, but playable character in 13-2. She's a forward. When Sarah enters the field, your opponent discards one card from his or her hand. Wow, automatically. Could be dangerous.
Mog?
Yes, Mog, also known as the Moogle, but this is the 13-2 Mog. When Mog, it's a backup. When Mog 13-2 enters the field, you may search for one category 13 forward and add it to your hand. And what that means is when you have your deck in the game and it tells you to search, you go through each card in your 50 card deck until you come across a 13 forward, and then you can add it to your hand.
Bard.
Bard. Oh. It's a backup. Put Bard into the break zone. Your opponent discards 1 card from his or her hand. Pretty simple.
Female summoner.
Female summoner. Just like the male summoner is a backup, not really much special. Still a cool looking card, just
I don't like the hat.
You don't like the hat?
I don't like the hat. Now we have 2 Dark Knights in this set. If you remember in one of the last sets, we had 1 Dark Knight card.
Okay, looks like you're holding up the
Female.
I guess that's the female. Yeah.
Silver-haired.
Oh, okay. Silver-haired Dark Knight. This is a forward. When this Dark Knight is put from the field into the break zone, Dark Knight deals you 1 point of damage. Ooh, interesting.
Very.
So if this card gets destroyed, I take a point of damage. And the way that works is, in order to win the game, if you can cause 7 points of damage to your opponent, they lose.
This one's just as deadly, but a little bit different.
So the, I guess, yellow-haired Dark Knight. Gold-haired Dark Knight. That sounds better. It's a forward. Deal 1,000 damage to all the forwards the opponent controls. Ooh.
They don't call them the Dark Knights for nothing. And I do believe that concludes all the cards. Please list any questions or concerns in the comment section. If you have any opinions, please let us know. We'd love to ask you how we're doing and how we can give you the content that you want.
Thank you so much to all that are watching this video. And remember to subscribe, comment, share your thoughts, what you like, what you didn't like. And thank you so much for checking out this series on the unboxing of the Opus 1 starter decks of the Final Fantasy trading card game. Thank you very much.
Don't forget to ring that bell and have a great new year. Goodbye.